cafe any way you want it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's the way you need it, any way you want it. It's Mike Matthews here, quoting a Journey song. Welcome to the show nobody listens to. It's called Mike's Daily Podcast. That's the confidence level of this podcast. Let me press this button here. That sounds a little bit better. The phasing thing is clear, and I'm singing to you the day before my birthday. It's gonna be great. And throw your hands up in the air and say, hey now, we're gonna have a good birthday, hopefully. Mike's Daily Podcast. 54. I was born in 68 when things were crazy. Mike's and nuts. Daily. Like now. Podcast. That joke doesn't get old. Yeah. Yes, it does. There's no such thing as a joke that doesn't get old. And it's episode 2523, 2523. Mike Matthews. The last podcast was called Harbinger. And we went back 3 years ago for the podcast picture. You can see it at MikesDailyPodcast.com, where we were at Capitola Wharf. I think today we may go back 4 years. 4 years ago around this time, around my birthday. I always had fun times around my birthday since I've been with my lovely lady friend. And about 4 years ago, I remember we went to Benicia, because I love Benicia. And I think we went, did we go into the city? No, we went, what? Oh, that's right. We went over to Half Moon Bay. And I dressed up in a bow tie. And, oh my. Do you know that our little cat named Rocky, he's a kitten, he has the worst gas. Oh my. Didn't know that a cat could have that bad gas. It's not smell-o-vision, it's just radio vision here on the podcast. But I'll post a podcast picture from that wonderful trip.
And here's today's podcast picture.
To Half Moon Bay that my lovely lady friend and I did about 5 years ago. Yes. Wait. Is that right? 4 years ago. Sorry. 4 years ago around this time. See it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And we will be heading to Half Moon Bay on my birthday tomorrow. I had a dog that had horrible gas. And now I've got a little cat, a kitten, that's got terrible gas. What is this? What did I do to deserve this? What have I done to deserve that? I don't know. The late great Basil the Boxer. He could really make the windows blow out in a room. So, okay. I guess Twitter, since they got taken over by the Elon, and it was funny because there's this joke running around now, like, hopefully Elon Musk doesn't take over your work, because you'll be out of a job. But now, since he's taken over, I no longer get these little news headlines like I used to get. I don't know. And this suddenly became a business podcast, which it is not, so I will stop. But yes, that's what the stock market wasn't so good today. But maybe that is something that will continue to make its impression there on our stock market. There is an interesting story that was out about a month ago about how Oath Keepers leader Stuart Rhodes had typed a message to Trump after January 6th, according to a witness. Jason Alpers, a military veteran and software company founder based in Dallas, said during a criminal trial of several Oath Keeper members back at the beginning of this month that several Oath Keeper members, including Rhodes, that he met with Rhodes and other Oath Keepers late one evening, days after the Capitol riot, in a parking lot. He told the jury that the meeting's intent was to get a message from Rhodes to Trump, to whom Alpers said he indirectly had access, to ensure the message he planned to pass along was accurate, he brought a recording device disguised as a thumb drive. Rhodes, Alpers, and other members of the group, including Oath Keeper's lawyer Kelly Sorrell, briefly discussed the Insurrection Act, a 19th century statute that gives the president authority to call on military and National Guard forces to suppress an insurrection if a state requests it or if the insurrection makes it impossible to enforce federal law. Alpers told Rhodes that he was hearing from Trump's inner circle that while Trump had not dropped the Insurrection Act, Alpers did not think Trump would invoke it. Trump never invoked the Insurrection Act. Then Rhodes typed out a message to Trump in the Notes app of Alpers' cell phone. Alpers testified. In the message shown as evidence, Rhodes urged Trump to enact the act, suggesting that he and his family would be imprisoned and killed if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris assumed office. He also suggested that Americans would die in combat on U.S. soil fighting against traitors who you turned all the powers of the presidency to. Rhodes further pressed Trump to arrest members of Congress, state legislators, and dissenting members of the Supreme Court who did not question the results of the 2020 election. That, according to USA Today. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway.
Thank you for being here. Well, sorry, I don't have any more recent news. Except I heard Nickelback getting interviewed because they're trying to push a new album. And when they push a new album, they come out of the woodwork and then everybody's like, oh gosh, I remember them 25 years ago, 20 years ago. And oh yeah, I remember everybody I knew was listening to their stuff and making fun of the song Photograph. But you know, they are still around, and they do really want to be Metallica. It just sounds like they're sort of the more eclectic Metallica, if that makes sense. There's a pilot that claims to spot puzzling UFOs over the Pacific. This, according to the Weather Channel in India, or what would it be? Weather.com / however you get to India with that. Over the last 2 months, dozens of pilots claim to have spotted UFOs, which the scientific community has now renamed unidentified aerial phenomena flying across the Pacific Ocean. In one of these puzzling accounts, pilot Mark Hulsey, a former military pilot, reportedly witnessed 3 objects flying above him between 5,000 to 10,000 feet. He explains they kept going in circles and he has never seen anything like it before. An official from the Federal Aviation Administration shared that the agency documents any reports of strange sightings shared with air traffic control if they are corroborated with supporting evidence. And then they are shared with the UAP task force. And NASA announced an independent study on UAP in June of this year. So there is no concrete answer as of yet, but that apparently according to the Weather Channel. And that's that. Okay. Outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, look who's here. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
I want to wish y'all a happy birthday for tomorrow, and I hope it's fun, and I hope you start podcasting more often, Mike Matthews.
Yes, me too. I really get a lot of stuff happening to me these days. So last week, all of a sudden, my staff dwindled to like 2. One of the guys who was off on paternity leave had his son today. So congratulations out to Ken. Had his little boy Dean today, and his wife, Ken's wife, is doing well. So thankfully all of that went well, and the baby was something like 7 pounds. So good job to the wife. She's a superhero now in my eyes. to go through all that. So that's a fantastic bit of news. But my staff was practically nothing. And now a lot of them have come back, so I'm happy about that. But because I'm going to take tomorrow off, and I really need them. But yeah, it was a rough week last week, so not much time to do podcasting. And this past weekend, I had an event that I went to. I had to take Sunday off from my various jobs. And it's funny because weeks ago, I told the guy that does the schedule for one of my jobs, hey, I cannot be in on Sunday. I cannot. This thing came up. I got to be at this event. I got to be there. He never responded. And one of the guys that I work with said, yeah, so-and-so never responded. I go, I know. Well, are you still going to take that day off? I have to. You're just going to have to go along without me. He's just going to have to read his dang emails for once. Sorry, my emails don't knock down your door, but this is what happens when you ignore my emails at your own peril, basically. So he said, okay, so we resolved that was going to be taken care of, whatever, but just leave me out of it. Then he texts me yesterday, just as I'm in the middle of this event, and there was a couple other things that had to go on, I had to do. Could not be there, and he texts me and he goes, hey, so you coming in today? I said, no! And he said, well, do you want me to call so-and-so, the guy who does the schedule, and let him know? I don't care! What part of this do you hear? When is this going to sink into your head that I do not care? Gosh! I said, do not text me the rest of today, please. He went, all right, cool. And he had like a little thumbs up. I'm like, okay, cool, back at you. Whatever. Dang, come on. Listen. Read the emails. Gosh, what is wrong with people? This is not just me and my little minuscule life. It's everywhere. People just ignore everybody, and it really, wow. It's shocking. We can't all be suffering from attention deficit disorder and all that. We can't all be we are all on the spectrum, but it's just, wow. Listen. That's all I'm going to say. And I said it, so I've said it. But here's the thing. This event I went to was pretty cool. It was a fundraiser for a local facility that takes care of people suffering from mental health issues. And it was a fundraiser for that. The one weird thing they did was, and we left about the time this happened, they did a sudden, like, now we're coming into the evening where we're doing the big ask. We need you to fund a need. And this is our need. And it was, what do you think the need would be? Yeah, what every charity is talking about these days. Inflation, the price of living, the price of rent, everything is up, right? The price of gas, everything is up. So every charity is jumping on that and pushing that and banging that drum. And so right there and then, they practically locked the doors and said, okay, we're going to ask, we're going to have a big ask. And the guy, he's some kind of MC who gets hired for this sort of thing. You could tell he was trying to couch it in such a way not to be like just begging for money at this event. Everybody dressed so nice. They just had a big day. The theme is dancing. So they have like 4 or 5 people get up and dance. They do this nice choreographed thing, 2 couples, or in one case it was 2 guys, but then they ended up breakdancing, and then they brought these professional breakdancers on stage. And then a lot of couples doing like a tango or a samba or some kind of ballroom dancing extravaganza, lots of twirling. It's very impressive. 2 young ladies got up there and danced a little tribute to Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And they dressed kind of like how Shania Twain did in that video, looking like when she was making fun of Robert Palmer and his Addicted to Love and Simply Irresistible videos. Who do you think you are, Brad Pitt? And then, so they did all that, and that was fascinating, but then they like practically locked the doors. We want money, basically. And the guy who's screaming and yelling at everybody to donate money, he says, okay, now first, the ask that we're going for is $3,000. We'll start with that. But first, can anybody donate more than $3,000? Raise your hand. No, but it sounded like this. Like the wind blowing and the birds chirping and the crickets. Nothing. So everybody's kind of going, And then he said, all right, can anybody donate $3,000? And one person raised their hand. And this guy, his head pops off. He actually screamed like a tiny little kitten. Ah! Just total like little... and runs over and everybody's clapping. So, okay, now he's going down the list. $2,000. Okay, a couple people could stand up for that. $1,000. At this point, my lovely lady friend's like, can we get out of here? I'm like, yeah, I'm just ready to leave. You need to say goodbye to people around the table. But she's like, okay. And she did it real quick, and then we got out. But dang, that's what fundraisers are like these days. I had no idea. I donated some money, but not freaking $3,000. I mean, it's a good cause, but what the heck? Okay. Now it's time for the wonderful segment we call Let's Go Back with Matthews. We're going to go back in time, y'all. This is called Time Machine Time. Let's go back now. Hell. We're going to go back to early 2000s, that era with the Nickelback and all of that. Look at this photograph and all that wonderful stuff. We're going to go back in time. Party started. Santa Fe Cafe Country Cantina. Yes, I used to work at a country station, and it was called K-Hey, and it was called the K-Hey Santa Fe Cafe. All right, here we go. This is a little bit from 20 years ago. Remember the times. Where are you now? What the heck? Right. What? Is that the name of it? Is what the heck?
I think so.
Yes, the new Martina McBride. Where would you be is what it's called.
There you go.
Is that out to anybody?
No.
Okay.
Like,
she's got some good vocals.
Belt it out like nobody else.
No. 650 KHAY. It's Martina McBride's latest. It's 100.7 KHAY. I'm at Michael's. I'm at the K-Hey Santa Fe Cafe, the K-Hey Cafe. Question tonight, what was your worst Charlie horse experience? Hello, John Deere, the engineer. What do you got to do? You got to unplug something? You got to fix something? What? I decided I'm going to reroute all the electrical outlets and put them in a completely different circuit breaker. Mm-hmm. Man, I need you to move. Oh, no. What is it? My brother's here.
All you people think the people at home are stupid.
That's Simon from, Yes, that TV show on Fox American Idol. Wow, I didn't know you guys are related.
All you people think the people at home are stupid.
That's all he says all the time, man. Wow, that's great. Well, I am flattered to meet him. Why not?
Wow. Here's Matt Michaels with a K-Hey Santa Fe Cafe happy customer.
It's a song called Last Man Committed.
Eric Heatherly, isn't that a great song? He is playing the guitar on that. He's an excellent guitar player.
I didn't know he was playing guitar on that.
It's true. What struck you about the song?
Well, right about now it kind of lines up with what I'm experiencing in my life. And really cool song, and I only heard it once, and that was like, last week, and I haven't heard it since and didn't want to hear it.
650 KJY. That is the new one from Garth Brooks and Thicker Than Blood. It's 100.7 KHAY, the one station to tune to for weekend fun. And we got Jody Messina coming up, Gary Allen, The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Lone Star, Dixie Chicks on the way next. And it is almost 10:30. That means
The Country Quiz.
at 10:30 and 11:30, Monday through Friday, it's the K-Hey Country Quiz. If you'd like to play the K-Hey Country Quiz, call me now at 650-K-Hey. We'll pick a contestant to play the K-Hey Country Quiz in the shopping center. We'll have another chance to win tickets for that. 650-KHAY. We'll pick a contestant to play the K-Hey Country Quiz.
All right, here we're going to play
I'm
it.
sure you've heard about Bob Mellon.
Our contestant is Shane from Ventura. Shane, let's look at the quiz wall and pick a topic from our three panels. Panel 1 says Keith Whitley's witty. Panel 2 says Andy Griggs' dandy digs. Panel 3 says Charlie Daniels knows Tony Randall.
First one?
Keith Whitley's witty. Shane, Keith Whitley crossed paths with who at a talent contest when he and this other person were both just 14 years old? Was it A, Vince Gill, B, Ricky Skaggs, or C, Brad Paisley?
I bet it's Ricky Skaggs.
C?
B, Ricky Skaggs?
No, C.
C, Brad Paisley?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, no, sorry, Shane. Stay on the line, 650-K. You can try and steal the prize from Shane, but if you get it wrong, he gets the prize.
Hi, it's Devin Led.
Heather from Oxnard going to try and steal the prize from Shane in Ventura. Heather, the choices were Vince Gill, Ricky Skaggs, or Brad Paisley.
Is it A?
Vince Gill?
Yes.
It's not Vince Gill.
Oh, no. Actually, the answer was Ricky Skaggs. B. That means you get the prize by default, Shane from Ventura. Congratulations. Yes.
How do you spell country?
Ah.
K-A-K-Y.
I got it right. Yay. We heard a little bit of that in a previous podcast, but there you go. What fun. What fun I used to have on the radio on K-Hey 20 years ago. All right, now finally the last segment. Do you hear my cat? That's Rocky purring. Let's see. Do you hear the purring? That's Rocky. Rocky's on clawing to my chest right now. Clawing to my clavicle. Okay, now the final part of this show. It's called Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. This is where I play two songs. You tell me which one you like better. Please, please, please. Rocky is pleading with you now as he purrs. Please call me 336 Daily. It's my birthday, for crying out loud. Call me and vote on the dang song, one or the other. Come on. Ugh. This is called No Hard Feelings by Julia. That's all I can play, or I'm going to get dinged. Okay, so do you like Julia? Or let's see, I just got this one. This is from a band called Heat. Heat with two T's. Consists of Simo Frankel, Fabian Lenson, and Rick Enema, who are artists, songwriters, and producers based in LA and Amsterdam. So it's going to be good stuff. Amsterdam. Oh, I love gold. Okay, so I'm going to click here and listen to their song. It is called Wild. Shall we listen as my cat is playing with my pen here at Cafe? Wow. So which one do you like better? Julia or Heat with two T's? 336mm daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is Mike Matthews. Daily isn't what this podcast has not been for a while, I'm going to admit. But we shall try. We'll still try to be more consistent.
Call now. 336mm daily.
And that's the end of the show. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. More ways to reach me. Here is a frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Mike, I made you some root beer. Drink it right now for your birthday. Oh, boy. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice of you. I can't wait that the cat is playing. Rocky is playing with the levels on my computer screen as I'm recording. That has got to be the coolest birthday present of all time. Thank you, Brewmaster. Drink it right now, too. I think this cat will claw your eyes out if you try to do that. All right, that's all right. I won't do it there. Okay. Oh, boy. With more ways to listen to the past podcasts, see pictures of Rocky, and all that, go to MikesDailyPodcast.com.